So hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about the testing of hypotheses, the basic concepts. So first let us see what is large sample and small samples. So large sample is nothing but when the population or the sample size is greater than 20, we consider it as large sample. Basically under large sample we have only Z test, and for example if the sample is given like sample 100 bulbs if the given is, so it will be comes under large sample, and then small sample if the sample size will be lesser than 30. The test that comes under it is F test, T test and chi-square test. And for example, when the student population is about like 20 each, it comes under small sample. So now we are going to do the testing procedure. So first step is to identify the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. We have to frame based on the given question. So yes,
hypothesis states that there is no effective, no relationship, no difference. In alternative hypothesis, there is difference, relationship and effect.
Yes, let us see what is level of significance now.
So level of significance is nothing like it is checking the probability. So in many cases, if level of significance is not given, we usually take 5% as a level of significance. So in level of significance, we can find that whether H0 is accepted or rejected.
So usually level of significance is denoted by alpha. So it is fixed at 5% for many problems. In some cases it will be fixed at 1%. Now let us see what is test statistics. We explain the carefully.
Test statistics, there are three types: F test, T test and chi-square test. F test is used to find the variance ratio, and it is also used in ANOVA table. And chi-square test is used to find the fitness of it, and T test is used to find the mean and difference of it.
So she has explained it for small samples. So in the case of large samples, we use difference of mean, single mean, proportion and variance of proportion. Depending on the question, we will use the formula. Now let us see what is critical value. Critical value. So critical value is nothing but finding the tabulated value of it, then giving sample values, keeping the find the tabulated value. Usually find using 5%. If LOS is not given, piece of field is not given, we take this 1% and calculate using sample values. And in most cases, in small sample we use T test, F test and chi-square, and for large sample we use Z test. And in Z test also there is two types of tailing method. One is one tail method and one is two tail method. Yes. Next, let us see the conclusion part.
So the conclusion formula for large samples and small samples are the calculated values less than or equal to the target value, then H0 is accepted. If H0 is accepted, then there is no significant difference between the samples. If the calculated value is greater than or tabulated value, then H0 is rejected. If the H0 is rejected, then there is a significant difference between the samples.
Let's discuss some basic concept or basic definitions in testing of hypothesis. So you will see now in what alphabets and what of the kind of symbols we will be using this large and small samples. So big N is used, like capital N is used for population and small n is used for sample. And we use mu, sigma square, x bar, y bar, variance, coefficient of variance, and bxy, byx, and S1, S2. We use these kind of symbols in this population. Can you explain what is type 1 and type 2 error? One type 1 error is nothing but
Type 1 is error.
okay, ma'am. So in type 1 error, if the alpha is true, H0 will be accepted. And then in type 1 error, there is another thing also. If alpha is false, H0 will be rejected. And in type 2 error, if the beta, the symbol used here is beta, if beta is true, H0 will be accepted. And it is mostly in this test statistics, we will be using alpha. We will be using type 1 error. Mostly we will be using type 1 error. And the one tail, two tail will be explained.
When mu1 and mu0 are greater than or equal to, we will use one tail test, and when we will use two tail test, if it is not equal to, we will use two tail test. Then let's see what we have seen from what we have completely seen population, sample population, but what is the definition of population? Population is a collection of individual items. For example, you can say India or people from America. Now let us keep an example of people from India or a population, and sample population is people from a small portion of the population. For example, if you take people from Tamil Nadu, it's a small sample of population. So number of population is the count of the people in the small sample.
So similarly, when we take the whole strength of the SNS College of Technology, that will be a population. When we take about the class first MCA, that will be the sample of the whole population.